during COVID and, Willow Run. I mean, Ford knows how to make complicated things in high volume. So once the company makes up its mind to be number two, we'll figure out how to double capacity of Lightning at the Rouge and build more Mach-E's.
Ford Motor Company needs no introduction. It's a legendary automobile manufacturing brand that took the world by storm after its launch. Even after so many decades, it's one of the most well-known automobile brands in the whole world, recognized for its excellent driving experience, powerful performance engineering, and innovative features and designs. But the new shift in the market from traditional vehicles to modernized electric vehicles has drastically impacted the age-old revolutionary car company. In addition, greedy car dealers have been forcing Ford Motors towards the edge of bankruptcy. So what is the whole story behind it? Stay with us until the end to know more. Let's begin. Ford Motors has taken a fresh step in rebuking sellers or dealers demanding extra money from the Ford F-150 Lightning reservation owners. The Ford F-150 Gen 14 Holders Forum received a document of an official bulletin sent to a seller by Ford Motors, which specifically outlined that this greedy behavior is unnecessary, unethical, and should not happen further. According to the bulletin sent by Ford Motors, it looks like the dealer they sent it to was engaging in the exact behavior they're talking about. The first half of the document stated that the dealers should stop demanding extra charges from people who have already reserved the vehicle because it sends the wrong message to the people. First of all, Ford Motors never agreed to this, and secondly, it is more than just an unnecessary inconvenience for the people because no one wants to pay an extra sum for their purchase. Also, Ford's reputation among its customers, which they've spent the past so many decades establishing, is at stake here. The bulletin board stated that it has come to the manufacturing company's attention that there are a limited number of sellers or dealerships that are interacting with buyers in a way that is having a direct impact on customer satisfaction along with causing damage to the reputation of the brand and their dealer body. Some such negative interactions involve asking buyers who already have their names on the reservation list for the new Gen MY F-150 Lightning to pay extra deposits or charges. These activities are viewed as a way of coercing customers into believing that if they don't do what the dealers have asked them for, they'll withhold the opportunity for the buyers to convert the reservations into final orders. This type of behavior is not permissible according to paragraph 6 of the Sales and Service Agreement, which, in simple words, asserts that the dealers should perform all dealership operations in a way that will keep the best reputation of the sellers themselves and the company they've agreed to deal with, the products of the company they're dealing, as well as trade names and trademarks claimed or used by the company of their subsidiaries. It also states that the dealers should avoid making any bait or performing deceptive, confusing, misleading, or illegal business or advertising practices. Ford is very serious about this and has threatened the dealers, stating that if any dealers continue to perform this kind of activity, they won't be receiving any kind of Lightning allowances for the remainder of the financial year. Suppose it is inferred that the dealership is performing such operations. In that case, Ford Motor Company holds the right to shift or change the pre-specified dealership allocation for the Ford F-150 Lightning for the rest of 2022. The second half of the bulletin, nonetheless, is a little troubling. First, it highlights a no-sale provision for Lightning buyers. For those who don't know about the no-sale provision, let us tell you. It is a legal agreement that prohibits the reselling or transferring of ownership interest of the automobile within its first year of purchase. The agreement also further states that the purchaser accepts not selling or offering to sell, transferring ownership interest in the automobile before 1 year of the purchase is completed. Suppose the purchaser is found to be violating this agreement. In that case, the seller can seek injunctive relief to avoid the transfer of the automobile's title or even demand compensation from the purchaser for all value earned as a reflection of the deal or transfer. Something similar to this happened a few years ago when Ford launched the second gen of the GT, but this time things are a bit different. Let us help you understand. A no-sale provision might make sense for a low-production supercar such as the GT, but it does not really make much sense for a mass-produced electric vehicle such as the Lightning. The second problem is that the Lightning is a brand new vehicle with unproven technology. Of course, this is not something new since every new vehicle entails some degree of risk, and it's up to the customer to decide whether they are willing to take that risk. And although Ford offers features such as a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, as well as an 8-year, 100,000-mile battery warranty for the Lightning, If things don't turn out positively, buyers will simply be stuck with the vehicle for at least a year, and with no sale provision, they can't do anything else. The next problem is the CSS charging network in the United States, which still is in the process of being built, and therefore there are certain areas where there is a lack of proper charging infrastructure. Even if the number of charging stations is slowly growing, it creates some serious trouble if the Ford Lightning cannot be charged when the battery runs out. Many customers think it's unfair that Ford is even planning to tell dealers if they have difficulty finding charging stations after buying the vehicle, they can't even try to trade or sell it. There is no doubt that markups are a considerable issue in the automotive industry, and they can lead to customers paying much more than they should for purchasing a vehicle. While cracking down on dealers who charge extra for reservations is a positive step, it doesn't solve the issue of markups entirely. To solve this, there should be more transparency in the pricing system, allowing customers to see exactly how much they're paying for each vehicle component. This would make it more problematic for dealers to charge unnecessary markups, as buyers would be able to see exactly how much the dealer is charging above the manufacturer's suggested retail price. After all, there's no reason people should wait for nearly a year to finally buy the car they have reserved with such high hopes, only to be informed that they need to pay an extra charge of nearly $20,000 once their vehicle finally arrives at the dealership, or else the deal will not take place. In fact, there are also reports of a dealership in Florida that initially seemed to have a markup of $69,000 on the base price of Ford F-150 Lightning, which resulted in it being nearly double the MSRP. In response to this, Mark Levine, a spokesperson at Ford, claimed that it was an accidental input error, and the dealership corrected it within 24 hours. Nonetheless, this incident sparked a conversation about intentional markups on Ford products across a network of dealerships. Some internet users have even compared Ford's pricing practices unfavorably to those of Tesla, which is known for being quite transparent about its prices. Since there's no doubt about social media's role, one Twitter user commented on this topic and pointed out the lack of transparency in Ford's pricing strategy compared to Tesla's. While Tesla's prices are publicly available and consistent, the user indicated that Ford dealerships may have hidden or variable markups on their products. This lack of transparency has indirectly led to customer dissatisfaction. There have been widespread dealer markups on vehicles, and coercing incidents even include a price of $30,000 or more. Some dealers are taking advantage of the high demand for some models and adding exorbitant markups to their base price. In another incident, a man bought the cheapest Lightning model for a price of $110,749, but the real MSRP of the vehicle was $80,749. Another customer purchased a Lightning Platinum for $123,509, which originally had an MSRP of $93,509. Ford plans to make some transitions that could potentially impact its dealer network depending on its size. These changes may require significant dealer investments, which could cost millions of dollars. In addition to this, some individual dealers may be forced to sell to larger, publicly traded companies like AutoNation and Lithium Motors. This is all for today, but we'll be back with more such exclusive and latest videos about automobiles. So make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any new updates. Thanks for watching.